Standing here in the aisle of St Mary's Collegiate Church here in Youghal. St Mary's is the medieval parish church, this present church is standing here since the 13th century, and there's tradition of several other churches there from at least the 5th century. Our work, what we're doing here at the moment, is we're actually excavating as part of renovation to the floor. Over the last number of years there have been certain soft spots, sort of subsidence appearing in the floor. So early on this year, funding became available from the Department of Arts, Heritage and Gaeltacht to try and address this. And so we started 4 weeks ago on an excavation. This location here behind me is the first location that we started working on. We're completed this now, but previously, when we first opened it up, this is a burial vault. So when we first started working here, we had a bit of a dip in the aisle. We lifted the present floor. Underneath that, we got some backfill material from the previous floor. It seems that historically have society in the past as well as repaired. So we had to lift that out. Once we took that out, we discovered the opening here with a number of timbers going across. These timbers seem to be some sort of a roof structure that were put in place above this vault. If you can imagine the vault, date-wise, possibly 17th century, more likely into the 18th century, we're talking 1700s. It's probably the vault of a wealthy family, local merchant family. We don't have a name on it yet. Our local antiquarian, Samuel Heyman, records that there were 8 different vaults all along the aisle of the nave, starting at the door up as far as the crossing up near the chancel. The final one there was supposed to be the burial vault of John Fitzgerald. We have actually found the burial vault of John Fitzgerald. Our initial work here was to do 2 investigation trenches. One was here, one was further up the crossing. The first one we did here certainly gave us a hint of something going on. It revealed 1 timber. But then when we came back, we actually revealed 4 cross timbers, a number of planks over it as well. So from there on, we knew we were onto something big. It was exciting, and it was a mystery as well. When we started working on opening 2 at the crossing of the chancel, one of the earliest pieces we found was this very large stone slab, the 2 large stone slabs. The earliest one is the burial memorial or ledger stone for John Fitzgerald, with a date of 1662. The Fitzgeralds, the Fitzgerald family, part of the wider Earls of Desmond connection, they and their ancestors would have been, certainly they would have been the benefactors, they would have been the founders of the town of Youghal. They would have been very much involved in a place like the medieval parish church. And so for them to be buried here in the highest part, potentially the highest status part, near or under the altar, would have been part of their legacy and their wants and their way as well. The second stone that was uncovered then is not as, the script is not as legible as on the Fitzgerald stone, but it seems to be maybe potentially of the Villiers. We have some first names. We have got Catherine, the wife of, Catherine again, the daughter of, but we actually don't have the full name, but we do have Villiers somewhere coming in. This is probably the most exciting bit that we've come across so far. This is the entrance into the Fitzgerald vault. If you look there, the rounding shape, the barrel shape, that is the actual vault itself. And this rectangular piece in front is the entrance to it, and we've flight of 3 steps that we've uncovered. And if we were to continue down into it, we probably would get the door as well. If you can imagine in the past, people would, these high status, wealthy merchant families, they would have been buried in a coffin, potentially timber or lead. You had to bring it in. It looks as if sometime in the past, potentially the walls have been cleared out because this is all rubble materials put on top. But whoever did it was very conscientious and put the burial slab back on top of us, so we were able to identify it. Just to the side of the vault is effectively what it is a chimney flue on its side. It's part of the early heating system of the church. It's brick built. It would have been worked on the same principle of a draft and the same principle of a chimney as well. But as I say, it's like a chimney that drew the heat from one location to the other, allowing the heat. It's not a floor heating system. That's effectively what it is. We've got a lot of coins coming through, a lot of that people would have dropped out of their pockets while coming for services. The most interesting one to me is a local trader's token coming from 1762. In the late 17th century, there was a lot of, shall we say, bullion and properly formally minted coinage around. So a lot of merchant towns would have minted their own coins, particularly merchants within town. So we came across a coin or token minted by Edward Perry of Youghal in 1762. Edward Perry would have been a local merchant. His name is associated with Perry's Quay. People may have heard of that in the past inside in town. All of what you see here will stay in place and stay as it is. It's going to be covered in a protective material called teram, which will sort of mark the level of archaeology which is underneath and the level of work that we've done. So basically the marks between the new and the old. Once that's done, all of this will be brought back up to level and a new floor will be put on place and retiled.